Adam Schefter on
Doing
board
this a
via
little
telephone
different, you
for more
guys.
on
So
this
let's get
retirement of
into
Drew Brees. Was this a close call for him to do it now? Was there a chance that he wanted to go another season?
No, Kenny. I think this was going to be the decision all along. I think that he never really wavered. The Saints expected this. There was no thought within the organization given to the idea that he could be back. Let's prepare. Let's get going as if there's a scenario in which Drew Brees wants to play in 2021. That was never considered. So even though this dragged on as long as it did, it may have just been symbolic in nature. He announces the decision today, courtesy of his kids, on the 15-year anniversary of signing with the New Orleans Saints. 15 years to the day that he landed in New Orleans. He bids goodbye to New Orleans. He's staying there, but he bids goodbye to the football team that he was such an integral part of. And remember, he went to that franchise at a time when nobody wanted to go there. New Orleans
that is
had
crazy
just gone through
right
Hurricane
there.
Katrina. It was a barren franchise. It was losing. It was not a destination. And Drew Brees turned it into one of the most winning organizations in football.
He'll get all the praise he deserves. That's coming in left and right all over Twitter and with some of our guests coming on board. What do the Saints do at quarterback right now? Is Jameis Winston the guy?
Well, they just restructured Taysom Hill, and you'll like this, Kenny. They gave him a 4-year, $140 million extension.
Yeah,
No,
because Taysom Hill is a
stumble over
beast.
that. 4
That
years,
dude can play
140
some
for
ball right
Taysom
there.
Hill. But keep in mind, they have a situation there where those deals are all voidable, and it's a mechanism to free up salary cap space this year, and that that extension will save the Saints $7.5 million against the cap. He won't play for the 4 years, $140 million, but they gave him a 4-year, $140 million extension today to save money against the cap this year.
Well, that story's not done. The competition will be fierce for who takes over Drew Brees' title. Thanks for joining us, Adam Schefter.
Thank you, Kenny.
NFL analyst Louis Riddick joins us now here on SportsCenter. And, Lou, we just heard from Adam Schefter, and if you've been paying attention to anything that Sean Payton has said over the last several weeks, if not a couple months, you knew that they were making a plan for Drew Brees not to be the starting quarterback for 2021. Now that the decision has officially been made, what did you make of Drew Brees making this decision at this time?
Yeah, Mike, I think with Drew, I think, him, Tom, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, all these guys who are really, the generation of
Don't
quarterbacks
forget about
that at
Phillip
some
Rivers
point in
now.
time, they're all going to,
Phillip Rivers was a GOAT.
move on from our game. I think these guys are very introspective individuals who are very honest with where they're at as far as their career projection is concerned, or rather where their career path is and where they're at along that continuum. I think with Drew, I think he saw some of the writing on the wall last year as far as where his skills were at this point in time. And I think, he's one of those guys who always comes across as being quite honest with himself as far as whether or not he can, one, get the job done at a very high level, and two, I think you hear all these quarterbacks, Michael, talk about the fact that are they still willing to go ahead and put in the time and energy and effort and level of commitment that it takes to play at the level that they have played at. And I think when those two things, a guy like Drew sits down and thinks about those things, I think this was really the conclusion he probably honestly and objectively came to and had to come to. And he probably came to this probably even sooner than now. And, I don't want to speak for him. And look, he's had one of the great careers of all time. Obviously, the objective statistics, the objective data says so. And he's one of those guys who defied so many odds. And at one point in time, we thought his career was over. We really thought his career was over before he launched on this journey that he's had with New Orleans. And you just have to tip your cap to him right now because he really was one of the true surgeons at the position, man, that played the game so well cerebrally and maximized every possible bit of athletic ability that he had given to him by the man upstairs, man. And you just have to applaud him for what he's done with his time in the NFL.
Of course, his eventual future will be there enshrined in Canton. His immediate future may be a television camera this fall, broadcasting games or working in the studio. But as far as the immediate future for the Saints is concerned, Louis, we just heard Adam Schefter also say that the team restructured Taysom Hill's contract so that frees up $7.5 million worth of salary cap. But we've heard Sean Payton be very complimentary of Jameis Winston since he's been there. in New Orleans. How do you see the future of that position of quarterback with the Saints?
Yeah, man, this is where it gets interesting now, doesn't it? This is where the debate really comes. There's no debate about Drew Brees' career and what he's meant, to the NFL and to the quarterback position and what's into New Orleans. This is where it gets interesting because, look, every conversation I personally have had with Sean Payton, he has backed Taysom Hill's ability to play quarterback at a starting level or in a starting capacity in the NFL and win. He has backed that, and he has never wavered from that time and time again. And I've asked him in every different way I could possibly ask him. And he has said we can start and win football games with him, and he is deserving of being a starting quarterback in the NFL. We're going to see now. Now we're going to see, because I'll tell you this. Excuse me, I think all of us who watch the game and all of us who understand where Taysom Hill has come from and watched him play and where he is at right now, and we compare his career and his talent level to that which Jameis Winston naturally has, notwithstanding some of the issues he had, at Tampa Bay as far as turning over the football, we come to the same conclusion, which is this. As a thrower of the football and as a guy who could play at a high level, Jameis Winston is a better quarterback than Taysom Hill. He has more natural ability than Taysom Hill. He has more ability to do things at a level that we associate with great quarterbacks than what Taysom Hill does. We're going to see now whether or not New Orleans makes another commitment to him and moves forward with him based off of their exposure to him last year. That's what makes this all the more interesting now. Is Sean going to continue to back Taysom? Did Jameis show them enough last year as an understudy and as a guy who they brought into the fold and taught him the ways of what things were like in New Orleans? Are they going to back him? There's a lot of questions to be answered here for a football team that still, 1 through 52 has a championship level roster.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.